Welcome to AlexGs Aquarium, everybody. Today I have another reveal on a piece of equipment. I hope you enjoyed the introduction. And if you're not familiar with what this is a Geo's Reef calcium reactor. As a matter of fact, this is the largest calcium reactor they make. This is the commercial version. It holds 50 pounds of media. I also bought a secondary chamber to help neutralize the effluent before it goes into the display tank. Now, if you're not familiar with what a calcium reactor is, I'm going to go into more detail on its operation, how it functions once I have this calcium reactor up and running. And the best way I could describe this is the calcium reactor helps provide essential elements such as calcium, bicarbonate alkalinity, and also magnesium to your corals, which are essential building blocks that help your corals grow and thrive within a reef tank. And there's several different ways to add these elements. And at this point in time, I'm actually using a two-part dosing system that's liquids. And while a two-part dosing system works well, being that this is a 1,600-gallon system, it becomes a lot more cost-effective to buy a piece of equipment such as a calcium reactor. While it has a higher upfront cost to get it up and running, the cost of operation and maintenance is quite low compared to a two-part dosing system. Just to give everybody an example, at this point in time, it costs around $20 to get a 2-gallon dosing system, 1 gallon of alkalinity and 1 gallon of bicarbonate alkalinity. With not very many corals in the system and a lot of coralline algae growing, I'm going through between 3 and 4 cups a week to maintain my levels. And this has recently gone up from dosing 1 cup a week to 2 cups. Now I'm into 3 and getting into 4. And as the 1,600-gallon system gets fully populated and stocked with corals, I could pretty much guarantee it'll be well over a cup a day of the essential elements needed to maintain the proper chemistry in the 1,600-gallon system and keep the corals happy and healthy. Because of that high cost that just never goes away with a two-part dosing system, it makes a lot more sense to go to a calcium reactor. And this is a big piece of equipment, and I spent a lot of time trying to determine what brand of calcium reactor I wanted to go with. And ultimately, I ended up going with a Geo. And the reason behind that is pretty simple. I looked at a lot of different brands out there, and the one thing I could say about Geo is that they have a good name reputation behind them. There are many coral farms out there and coral sellers that are using Geo products in their systems. They're having good success with them. I also know many hobbyists that I've met through YouTube that have also had extremely good luck using Geo products. I did ask Geo's Reef about how quickly they could get me replacement parts. If something were to fail on a calcium reactor, how quickly are you going to be able to respond to my requests for parts and get them shipped out to me? And I was happy to hear that they would be able to expedite things if there is some kind of emergency. They stand by their products. And just so everyone's aware, this is not a sponsored video. I'm doing this completely on my own because I believe this is going to be a great product for my 1,600-gallon system. Some of the other calcium reactors I looked at, while they really did look nice, had a few drawbacks. In some cases, being able to get parts might have meant something getting shipped overseas. And while that's a little easier to do nowadays, it still does leave me a little nervous because if I have a failure of a calcium reactor, it is important to be able to get it up and running very quickly, as a fully stocked tank can easily deplete the trace elements it needs, which can unfortunately cause corals to die. So it was really important to me to not only get a product that has a good reputation, but also have the ability to get parts quickly. And that is one of the main reasons I went with Geo. And I did ask Geo's Reef on this calcium reactor just what size tank it can actually run. It lists a 600 plus gallon on the website, and I told them the size tank I had. I was assured that this calcium reactor would be just fine. They have a customer running it on a 2,000 gallon tank without any problem. And really it comes down to just adjusting the calcium reactor properly for the demand you have in your system. I'm really looking forward to getting this set up. I can't wait to see it up and running. Before I get all the media in it and a CO2 tank on it, I'm first going to just hook it up to my 1,600 gallon system, let water run through it for a few days, make sure we don't have any kind of leaks or issues, and I'm happy with where I'm setting it up. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to take it all apart, go ahead and fill it up with media, which I will talk about in a future video, and then I'm going to let it run for a few more days. Ultimately, I'll get a CO2 tank, get it up and running. For my regulator, I went ahead and got a carbon doser. This is an electronic regulator that hooks up to a CO2 tank. And regulators, I did do a lot of research on, and it seems there's a really popular crowd that loves the carbon doser. They have good success with it. If you're not going to go with something like this, I would highly recommend you get a dual stage regulator that's made out of stainless steel, as a lot of planted aquarium enthusiasts use them, along with a lot of folks in the saltwater community for their calcium reactors. This is a big reveal I wanted to talk about today, and this is going to be going on the shelf by the protein skimmer that I cleaned off in my last video, because I think this is going to look really nice there, and it was kind of a plan all along to put a calcium reactor in that spot. Hope you liked today's video, everybody. If you did, go ahead, give me that thumbs up. Let me know that you like the content. If you have any comments or questions on the calcium reactor or the carbon doser, go ahead, leave them down below. If I can't answer them now, when I get this calcium reactor up and running, I will definitely see how it performs and answer your questions best I can once it's all up and running. And if you want to see how the calcium reactor does for the 1,600 gallon system and the overall journey of the 1,600 gallon system, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and I will see you on the next video.